See, there is no army in the world that understands the terrain in the Niger Delta. And these people are everywhere, in the streets, everywhere. So we're saying, look, you can't kill all of them. The best we can do to win them is to love them like God will choose to love us. And that's what we have been doing. We love them. We hate what they are doing. We're saying, look, even if you call it a struggle, it has been hijacked. See, the present peace you see in the Niger Delta today is not because of the presence of military. It is what most of us are doing. We have gone to all the camps. We have talked to the boys. Cultists are coming to us. They are seeing hope and reason for living. We are saying to them, you can live again. You can have a family. You can be reasonable. You can affect your generation. We saw that and we are going into it. We have done a lot of programs for them. Like Soboma George would never see a Teketom. We've reconciled them. We're reconciling everybody. You know, the problem we have is that the government is not seeing what we are seeing. What we're doing is this. We're not only stopping the crisis. By the grace of God, we have stopped the crisis.
So you're saying right now that there's peace in the Niger Delta?
There is peace. See, there is so much peace compared to what would have happened. What's happening now in the Niger Delta is where we need help. That's why we're coming like this. People have hijacked it. Any small armed robbery, or militants. Any small kidnapping, or militants. So even the smallest person will go and kidnap one big man. And they will call it a big name. So you cannot even look for it because it looks so big. It's in the creek. Maybe they will put him in one house in town. So it's making it very difficult for us. And that's happening because the people that know those who are capable of doing such things, you have pursued them to the creek. We are saying, allow them come. We will be with them. We will monitor them. We will look at ourselves. Then we will know who are criminals. Practically speaking, because you do this in practical, you're not a spirit, you're not a ghost. We're now saying if you give us amnesty, we will now know and ask you why you're doing what you're doing. That's what we're saying. We need a start. Everybody in Niger Delta is involved in this thing. When Asari and Ateke had problem, everybody were either praying for Asari or praying for Teketom. Nobody was thinking of peace. So nobody is out of the problem we have in the Niger Delta. So we are saying from the government to the bottom, let amnesty be granted everybody. Because we have proof of people in government sponsoring most of these boys. We can't expose them now. They are our brothers too. But we are saying when you grant us amnesty and they do it, we will expose them. We will work with the society. We will work with the government. We will expose this thing. It's not helping our generation.
Now, what you're saying seems to be contradictory. If people in government are sponsoring some of these boys, it raises two questions. Number one, even they obviously have their own agenda. Okay? And so it raises the question of, number one, even if amnesty is granted across board, because they have a personal agenda, are they going to stop?
Now let me give you an instance.
That's question one. Question two is, what guarantees, you're talking about amnesty, what guarantees, okay, they say amnesty, and then, like we've said, the people in government have a personal agenda. So they may now decide to say, okay, they now go to point fingers at the people they are not sponsoring because they have a personal agenda.
Now, good. Now, let me, the first question is...
what makes you think that they're going to stop if amnesty is granted across board?
Good. See, when you grant amnesty to the people, we know that you use the youth, the young men. We're asking for amnesty for them now. And they will be washing themselves. For an example, the suggestion for washing self was suggested by Ateketom. If only Ateketom group comes in and say, look, we've laid our guns down. We're washing ourselves. You will be a spirit to carry gun and nobody know where you're coming from. Even Ateketom cannot reinforce if that happens. When you bring out your gun, we will rehabilitate you. Nobody knows who brings out any gun. Not from any particular group. It's open for everybody. Look, bring out guns. Those that will bring out their guns, and they are willing to bring out their guns. We are saying we need the world to witness that you said you have forgiven them from today. you will not punish them what they did yesterday.
Yes.
So we get witnesses to be part of this agreement, that anything they do after today, they will have to pay for it.
Okay.
That's the kind of program we have. And we, as a people, want to do it. The youth want to do it. See, the most problem we have now is that our elders have a kind of disappointed themselves. So they are trying to be relevant with the young men's action. They come to Abuja, doors are open to them. I know the boys. We can do this. Meanwhile, most of them go and sponsor these things to continue.
Okay, before I let you go, let me just take you up on this issue of the leaders.
Yeah.
Because it's all very well for, when I say you, I mean all the groups that are coming together and working for peace in the Niger Delta and progress in the Niger Delta. It's all very well for all of you to come together, come for a program, say we're talking to ourselves as boys.
Yeah.
But if you're saying that some of your leaders, if not all of them, have failed you, how are you going to change the leadership?
Good. Now, for an example, we have people like Kingsley Kuku. He is practically visiting these boys. Say, look, we don't need violence to move on. We know people that are, again, practically visiting these boys to say, look, this is your enemy, fight him. Come together, do this. We know these people. So we are saying, you as government may not know them. Allow us to choose our leaders. Then we will know the right people to choose. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
The problem now is that the leaders, the kind of leaders we have, were imposed on us.
Okay.
We don't have leaders that we chose. Like what Kingsley Kuku is doing is on his own. So we are saying, look, this kind of persons, we will appoint you to be in office because the boys can trust you, because we can do things together, then we can have peace. We have nothing to lose. Just the interesting thing is that Nigeria should learn the generational change is going to start from Niger Delta. It will affect Nigeria, it will affect Africa, it will affect the world. What we are experiencing today in America will start in Niger Delta as change for Nigeria. That's what we're going to. So people should not be confused that militancy, you're angry, you're dying. It is God's plan to bring out a people from bondage. It is God's plan to change a generation. If it will not start from Nigeria, where will it start from? That's the issue. So, by the grace of God, we have the challenge of changing our generation. So we see it as a generational fight. It's not against anybody. Because you cannot do anything against the truth. See, Pharaoh was not able to say yes because God decided that he was going to have
before you start climbing. We've had in the studio with us Onengia Erekosima talking about the issues in the Niger Delta and his new, is it new now? His platform of peace to move forward the issues of the Niger Delta. You're watching AIT World. After the break, we take a look at what's happening in the world of business.